Hi, everybody. Today we are doing a full revision of your natural science and technology work for grade 4 and 5. We'll cover everything you need to know for the exams, including plants, animals, food chains, skeletons, materials, and much more. Every living thing, whether it's a plant, animal, or human, needs five things to survive. If just one of these is missing, it cannot live for long. So the five things you need is air, water, food, shelter, and space. We can identify something as living, checking if it does these six things. Sorry guys, it's seven things. So it's, for example, a cat grows, moves, breathes, reacts when it's called, has babies, and eats food. So it's alive. So if anything doesn't have one of these seven things, it is not living. If it then it's non-living. Like a rock, it can't grow, it can't move on its own, it can't give babies and make its own food. But like a plant, it is living because it's growing from a seedling to a big tree, or it is making babies, but not like physically babies, but seeds to make new food, new babies, and they make their own food from photosynthesis. So a plant is living. As exact same with animals and humans. We can divide animals into two main groups. Those with backbones, like dogs and birds, are called vertebrates. Those without bones, like butterflies or jellyfish, are invertebrates. And here you can see the pictures of like a jellyfish and a human. Okay, here you can also see the cat or lion or cheetah as well as the worm. So a vertebrate has backbones. It is enlarged in size usually, and the skeleton is in the inside. Where invertebrates have no backbone, they are small in size, usually insects, and they have no skeleton, or the skeleton is on the outside. Each part of a plant has a special job. The leaves make food, the roots take in water, and the flowers help the plants make new baby plants. And the stem carries everything where it's needed. You need to know the function of each part of the plant. So you need to know what is a root, why does a plant have a root, why does a plant have a stem, leaves, flowers, and seeds or fruits. You have to know, remember guys, the fruit keeps the seed safe, the seed helps to get new baby plants, the stem keeps the plant up straight and strong, the root keeps it stabilized, and the leaves help for to make new food because of photosynthesis, and also to attract other insects. Okay, animals move and are supported in different ways. Some have bones like we do, others have a hard outer shell, and some just use water pressure inside their bodies. So we have an endoskeleton and an exoskeleton. So endo sounds like enter, so in, okay, you come in, and so the skeleton is in the inside, like for humans, lions, and fish. Where the exoskeleton, exo, it sounds exit, so outside of the body. So the skeleton is on the outside, like for instance, crabs and beetles. Without our skeletons, we'd be like jelly. It gives us structure and protects important parts like the heart and the brain. So our rib cage, it protects our heart and lungs. So and if something happens to our lungs or heart, we can die. So the rib cage goes around the important organs, and that's how we stay safe. Just like a building needs strong parts of and stay up straight, Our skeletons has special structures to keep us strong and allows us to move in different ways. So we have different parts in our body like the joints, the ligaments, the struts and the framework. So because of all these components together, this is how our body functions, moves and stands up straight. Energy in nature flows through these three roles. Plants start a chain, animals eat the plants or each other, and decomposers clean everything up. So, energy rolls in nature. So, this is where food chains and food webs come. Remember, we said like the sun, the plant gets the energy from the sun, then the animal, like a bunny, eats the plants, the lion comes and eats the bunny, and when the lion dies, the eagle will eat the lion, and when the eagle dies, that decomposes all the worms, will eat it, and the cycle will go on and on and on and on. Now this is food webs and food chains. Producers, it's the first thing in a food chain or a food web. It is always a plant. Okay, so you must always remember a producer can never be something else than a plant. Consumers is anything but a plant, so anything that can eat plants. It can be humans or animals or microorganisms, it doesn't matter. Herbivores only eat plants, carnivores only eat meat, and omnivores eat plants and meat. And then last, decomposers are like fungi and bacteria that break down dead things. Food change shows who eats what and how energy travels. It all begins with the sun that goes to plants and then through that photosynthesis. And then when the plant makes its own food, other animals eat from the plant and it ends up as at the predator. So at the end it will always, in the middle it will always have a predator because something needs to eat the animal, or it can be a omnivore or carnivore, and then it always has to have a herbivore because remember the plant and something needs to eat the plant. Okay, so here I have a simple food chain for you. It's the sun, plant, grasshopper, bird and snake. So the sun gives energy to the plant, the grasshopper eats the plant, the bird eats the grasshopper, and the snake eats the bird. So energy flows one way from the sun to the producer to the consumer. And remember, you have to add in arrows to the way the energy is going. The snake, as you can see with the last picture, the arrow is pointing at the snake because if the snake eats the bird, the energy is going to the snake. Animals go through stages in their life. So it changes from birth to adulthood. Some, like frogs and butterflies, go through big changes called metamorphosis. So let's quickly look at life cycles. So it's always, doesn't matter if you're an animal or a human or what type of animal, it's always birth, then growth, then reproduction, then death. And remember, reproduction is having babies. And as you can see on the picture on the right, how it's from birth, it grows, reproduction, and another baby, and then they die, unfortunately. With a butterfly, an egg, and remember when that egg hatches its birth and then grows to a caterpillar, and then after a while, a butterfly, and the butterfly dies, and then the cycle repeats itself. Exactly, with a frog, it's an egg, a tadpole, a froglet, and then an adult. And guys, you need to know these life cycles. Okay, here's pretty examples of a few life cycles of a bird, a chicken, a butterfly, a bee, and a frog. Plants also go through stages. They start as a seed, then they grow into a full plant, make flowers, and then those flowers turn into new seeds. So let's quickly look at the life cycle of a plant. You can follow at this diagram on the right, and then I can quickly read it to you. So it starts with a seed. This is where the cycle starts. Then germination. You need to know what's germinate. It is one of your keywords. It's when a seed begins to grow. You can see it at the picture of the just a seed, then a seedling. So it's a small plant that grows leaves, then an adult plant that makes flowers, and then flowers make seeds. The flower can either make seeds or the flower can turn into a fruit that makes seeds. And then the cycle continues. So that fruit or that flower will be a seed again, that seed will be germinate again, then a seedling, then an adult plant, then a flower or a fruit, and then continue over and over again. And that's why it's called a cycle. So, types of material we use. Materials either found in nature or changed by people to make new things. For example, we use trees to make paper. So we get two different types. We get natural materials, so that's like wood and wool and cotton, clay and rocks, and then human-made materials, processed materials. So it can either be processed for the grade 5s and human made for grade 4 or either way, but you need to know these words. Processed actually just means human made. So that's like paper, glass, plastic, metal, objects, and so forth. This is materials you can't get in nature. So, yes, just a few examples. Okay, metals and their properties and uses. So metals are useful because they are strong and carry electricity. That's why we use them for buildings, tools, and wires. Because guys, we can't build buildings from stuff that's from materials that are not strong. That will be very unsafe, and the buildings can crash and can either hurt us or people can die from it. So, properties of metals are they are hard, they are shiny, they are good conductors of electricity and heat. Okay, and some are magnetic. Examples are like iron, copper, aluminium, and steel. And why do we use them? This is like for tools and wires, buildings, cars, and machines. Okay, processing metal materials. So this is when it is turned from natural materials to human made. So processed materials. It's changing from raw materials or natural materials to human. So for example, we process natural things to make them more useful. Recycling also helps us reuse materials and protect nature. So here's a few examples. The trees are cut off, the wood is being processed, and then it turns into paper. Cotton is turned into cloth, sand is turned into glass, and oil is turned into plastic. Recycling is when you reuse materials to help the environment. So it's very, very important for us to recycle. So basically, just reuse and reuse and reuse the materials, so that it doesn't end up in landfills or pollute the earth. Okay, so tips for the exam, guys. Studying is easier when you use tricks like drawing and summaries and asking others to help. Don't try to learn everything in one night or the night before. Guys, I want you please to focus and try to study ahead for this test. This is only on the slides. This is only the most important work, but you must still um what do you call it, go through your summaries, go through your writing books and go through your textbooks to ensure you have all your notes. You can also go look on all the videos I posted on Google Classroom, And you must learn your keywords and definitions. They are very, very important. When you are studying, you can use mind maps and diagrams to practice, as well as you can ask someone to quiz you and study every day little by little, and then you will be fine. Okay, well done. You've done the work. Now you just need to trust yourself and do good. You are smart and you gave what? And prepared. Okay, good luck guys. Come to me anytime if you want to need help. I am here for you and good luck.